Hi, and welcome to College Planning Untangled, where we help simplify the lives of our families that are going through the college planning process. I'm Kristin Clark. I'm a career exploration coach for 16 to 26-year-olds, and I'm here with Bobby Hood, our ACT and SAT expert. Bobby, how's life treating you?
Just great. Yeah, we're in the end of the school year. All of my rising seniors and rising juniors, a lot of them are taking the ACT. Took the ACT last Saturday, taking the SAT this Sunday, and so I mean this next SAT last Saturday, ACT this Saturday. See, it's that crazy. And so everybody's tutoring this week, and then we'll go into the summer where it's time to start thinking about, for those rising seniors, thinking about college tours, college admissions essays, all that. So I'll be shifting into that mode.
Yeah. Well, and today what we wanted to talk about is when you're going on these college tours, really take advantage of the time that you're there. And Bobby, I think, would you explain to parents this concept of intent?
Yeah, absolutely. So colleges, I mean, I think now more than ever, right? In the old days when they would come to your school and present come to the college fair, if you come and walk up to the table and you talk to that college representative, that admissions officer, they're going to get your name. And then when you walk away, they would like grab a little note card and write some notes about you. And then that would go in a file about you, right? And now I am sure they pull out a tablet and they do that, right? And also, as part of the process, once you contact the school, once you're on their mailing list, they are going and looking and see if you have social media. They're going and looking at what you have. And if you are on your social media and like if they see, hey, I just can't wait to go to this college, they're going to make note of that, right? When you go to their website, they have, like all big websites can do this now. They will know it's you visiting the website, and they will track where your mouse moves and where you click the button and how long you stay looking at that page and which pages you look at. And so that is demonstrated interest, right? Showing demonstrated interest in a college. And so if you go on a tour and you've got a student leading that tour, right? What you don't realize is at the end of that tour, that student's going to make some notes, probably not about every student on the tour, but if somebody is very clearly engaged and wants to go to the school, they're going to make note of that. That's going to go in your file, right? And if you are disruptive and passive and seem completely uninterested, that's going to go in your file too, because the whole idea here is that colleges, there are two things that are big in contributing toward your US News ranking, right? And it's how selective you are, right? How many students do you accept, right? How high does your GPA have to be? How high does your SAT and ACT have to be? But the other thing is the number of students that actually accept. Like, do you have to accept 1,000 people to fill a class of 800, or do you have to accept 2,000 people to fill a class of 800, right? And that is the way they do that is only accept students that they are confident are going to say yes, right? And so that's it. So when you're on the college tours, that's part of your interview.
Well,
Right.
right. And that's why I wanted you to kind of preface this, because when I think about college tours and when I was taking my boys, we were having fun. We were, just doing what you do. And I wanted parents to understand, and some students, if you're watching, that this is a interview, right? As much as you're excited and you want to see what the school's all about,
Right.
if it's a school that you're like, man, I'm gunning for this school, you might need to bone up a little bit and think about what kind of questions you're going to ask on that tour. The other thing is making sure that if you have a major in mind, that you're also visiting the college within the college that is going to have your major, and asking for a separate meeting with those people so that you can go and test them out and just see if you like the vibe in that area of the college, if you like the types of people that you're going to be hanging out with, based on that major, and it goes towards that. I always mess up the term. I always call it intent, but it's
demonstrated interest, right?
And I can't hear you right now, Bobby.
Oh, yeah, engagement, demonstrated interest.
Hopefully you shared that. So demonstrated interest. Thank you.
Exactly.
I always get that. I don't know why I can't get that.
But it's a weird phrase.
But it matters, right? So there's that. And I wanted to make sure you understood that. But then we also want to make sure that you're looking at all the places that are truly going to make a difference for your student. And by the way, we did put together a download. So as you're listening, you can also, grab this download and it'll help you with, understanding what questions to ask. And by the way, you can also make notes on this. So when you go to college, because you think you're going to remember, and Bobby, you don't.
Oh, yeah.
You get confused, right? Because they all start.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that's the great thing is you can take this list. It's just a bunch of generic questions that are pretty specific about each different area, right? What's the deal with the academic center? What do you have at the library? What's the student union like, right? What kind of options does the career center give us, right? But also it's realizing all the things that you can do. You don't just if you're going to travel to a college, you don't just go on the tour, right? There are so many things they will do for you, right? You can meet with somebody in the department that you want to major in. You can sometimes go and actually sit in on a class and watch a class, even if it's in the summer. They'll have summer school classes going on. You can probably, other than your tour guide, you might be able to meet with a student and just talk to people. And if not, just when you're on your break for lunch or whatever, just go to the student union and walk around and parents, leave your kid alone for a minute and let them just walk up to a student who looks interesting. And the thing is, if that student is a freshman right now, that might end up being their best friend the next year, right? If they go there, that person's going to be there. And now they've got an in on somebody who can tell them the ropes and show them around and introduce them to people. Man, that's cannot be overestimated how much, because as this all ties together, the point is going to a college where you're going to be happy and you're going to stay and not leave and transfer, because that's how suddenly you have to spend 5 or 6 or 7 years in college to graduate.
Yes. And a couple, I like my research, so I'm going to throw a couple research items in here. The research tells us, and let's take out all your Ivy Leagues and all that, but it doesn't matter what school you go to. It matters what you do while you're there. So when your kiddo is off to college, the big goal here is to get them into someplace that feels like home, that feels like they like it, like they feel good there, and that they found their people. So, you need to be on the lookout for that too, and really talk to your kid about that part of it. And yes, academics are important. Yes, you want to pick a school that maybe is known for their major. That's another way to kind of slice and dice this. But you definitely want them to walk onto a campus and go, wow, this feels good. I want to be here.
Absolutely. I mean, it is true that there are a very small number of colleges where the alumni network and all that is so important, and the name is so famous that it will affect your job prospects and things for the rest of your life. Harvard's like that. Duke is a little bit like that, right? Chicago's
Stanford,
sure, Stanford. But once you are outside of that, so if you are not in that elite, right, Notre Dame, all those places where everybody's all buddies, and all that, outside of that, it just matters if you're happy and you get out in years and you get the degree. The name doesn't matter. Nobody is going to be 5 years out, changing their mind based on which place you went to, right? It's all your degree and then your experience. So it's all about getting in and out without crippling debt, without spending 6 years, all that, right?
Yeah. So when you're on your visit, you want to look at different places. So you want to check out the dorms. Are the dorms all crusty and weird and, they don't.
Yep.
And does it matter to you? That's another thing is, it might matter to some people. It may not matter to you.
Right.
The dining hall, how is the food? I would tell you most dining halls these days are pretty good. They're catering to these kids.
They invest a lot of money into that. Yeah.
Yeah. But while you're there, eat on campus, eat in one of these dining halls so that your kid can experience that too. I always like to say, let's go to the wellness center. You never think that you're going to need it, but believe me,
you'll be there.
You'll be there. And how far away is it? Is it easy to find? Are they good to the people when they come in? What else, Bobby?
Is the campus walkable? What's the crime rate like? Are you going to get mugged if you walk a few blocks away? What kind of experience do you want? Do you want to feel like you're at a summer camp, which is like going to Duke University is like being at a summer camp in the woods, right? Whereas, go to University of Houston and you're in the middle of downtown Houston and you got all that activity going on. Going to Columbia in New York, you are just in the middle of a city, right? Which experience do you want, right? That's part of the thing to think about, because Yeah. Are you going to need a car? Are you going to be able to, is there good public transportation? All of that, right? You want to know.
Here's another one that I saw when we go on to the campus quad or the main part of campus,
Mhm.
and watching people, flittering around and talking to each
Right.
other. If you see a lot of people going, "Oh, hey, dude, hey, how you doing?"
Right.
When we were on the university, it was University of Alabama campus. They had dogs that you could rent and walk.
What? Oh
Yeah,
my gosh. Oh, that's amazing. So
but it
that's a
was
great way to make
fun.
friends. All right.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
and it
that's
was. It
great.
was a great way for people to meet each other. Um,
Yeah.
the student union, I think that's another one where you go in there and you just go, what's this feel like? Does it feel comfy? And
Mhm.
um,
Totally.
y-
Yeah. Do you see people sitting around on couches and talking, or is
yes.
it empty? Are they all just walking through? Yeah.
Now, here's another one that I think is phenomenal. I'm looking to see if it's on our list, but the rec center
Yep.
and
That's on there.
because I will tell you, I couldn't believe the stuff that they had available for students,
Right.
Bobby, like
It's crazy now. Yeah.
renting kayaks,
Right.
right? Horseback riding, all kinds of stuff that you wouldn't believe they have available.
Mhm.
And it's one of those too that you don't have to be awesome at it. It's just for you to try. They,
Yeah.
a lot
I
of
took
camp.
scuba diving one semester when I was in college and learned how to scuba dive in the pool at TCU. Yeah.
Yes. And then they also have like trips that you can
Mhm.
sign up for and do a weekend trip. And so
Right.
for parents, this is huge. Getting your kid that first week, their main job, and I'm going to extend it to 2 weeks. The first 2 weeks that they're on campus, their job is to meet friends and get their butt to their classes. That's it.
Absolutely. That is
That's it.
it. Yep.
Yeah. So, and it's so important that I actually, Gallup has done a study on it,
Mhm.
just how important it is for kids to acclimate and find their people. So, these things that we're excited about and talking about, that's the reason is it's so
Yep.
important. And then, we also have on here the Career Center.
Yeah.
That's near and dear to my heart. But when you're going to the Career Center, the big question is, hey, what kind of help are you giving these kids to get real jobs and to get internships and all the stuff?
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, that's what it's all about. So everybody should download that. And then also, if you're interested in figuring out what major you should be choosing, right, then they can sign up for classes with you. If you are getting ready to write your college essays later this summer, sign up with me for college essay help. You can contact both of us at the bottom of the page.
Yeah. And Bobby, both of us, for any questions you have
Yeah,
about college, we will get you to the right people. So
absolutely.
yeah, please come, please talk to us. And with that, we're going to sign